You are listening to Let's Talk Tea podcast with your favorite boss babe. Yep, Shani Summon Godfrey. This podcast is designed to transform, elevate, and empower you to build your legacy that lasts. I'm not on here by myself, y'all. I am joined by thousands of bosses across the globe right here on Let's Talk Tea podcast. We are here for no other reason but to help you build your legacy with passion. We sweating over here.
Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Let's Talk Tea podcast with your favorite host. Yes, I'm biased, Shani Summon Godfrey. I am joined by a phenomenal boss lady. Did I say phenomenal? Expert in her field. This is just someone that's always growing and elevating and dominating her marketplace, and I am super excited to be joined by my awesome co-host tonight. So, boss lady, please introduce yourself to us.
Hello, guys. My name is Katina O'Neal, and I am a health and wellness nutritionist, lover of being healthy and living a whole, complete life. I am a mother of 3, grandmother of 2. I've been married for 27 years. I think that's right. 27 years. I've been in healthcare for over 25 years. I'm a senior indoor cyclist instructor. I like to eat healthy. I like to motivate people to believe in themselves, and I just like to just do all things that make me feel good as far as with my body, exercising, and living a healthy whole life.
Awesome. Listen, I don't know where to start because my background is in healthcare, and I get excited when I see healthcare providers out here doing different things, because what we train to do, when we can take that and do other things with it, listen, that's the gift in itself. So let's talk about that, right? Because you've been in healthcare for over 25 years, but you also been a health coach for over 10 years. Tell me a little bit about that. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Tell me a little bit about that.
I will. It started over 10 years ago. I got on the program. At that time, it was called Weight Watchers. It's now called WW. And I got on it because my company that I worked for at that time started requiring that we have a health assessment. And during the health assessment, I realized that my cholesterol was well over 200. And I was like, whoa. And I'm the type of person, I don't like taking medication.
Right.
And if it's something that I can fix, I'm not beyond medication, but if it's something that I can fix first, let me try to fix it first. So I won't have to be dependent on a pill to do something that I've got the power to do.
Yes.
And so that's what I did. I didn't know anything about working out. I just knew that I said, let me just start one thing first. And my one thing first was I just started walking. So I began to walk, and I walked, started out at 1 mile, and that was the hardest mile, seemed like. And then that 1 mile got up to 2 miles. And 2 miles got up to 3 miles. And 10 years later, I have ran 4 half marathons, several 10Ks, some 5Ks. I've done CrossFit. Of course, I'm indoor cycle instructor now. And so within a month, my cholesterol went from being well over 200 to like 170, 180. And my provider was like, whoa, what did you do? I said, I just walked. And I ended up losing like 15 pounds in that 1 month. So one change made a big difference. One change. Having my mind made up that I didn't want to be a statistic and that I did not want to be dependent on medication, not knocking medication, because if you need it and you've done everything you can do, some things you just have to have. I just was not going to take it. I said, I'm just not going to take it. If I can fix it, if it's something that I can do, let me try it first. And I think that's where a lot of people miss it. The doctors or providers will tell them, oh, you're high blood pressure, or you're diabetic, and they begin to take the medication without putting in the work to try to see if they can do it themselves first. Exactly. And that's what I did. I tried. I'm like, I just don't want to take medication. I'm not going to be dependent on the pill. I'm going to depend on God. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to confess the word. I'm going to put in the work, and I'm going to watch it work. And it did. And so that's how my health journey began. And I got so excited about losing the weight and getting healthier that I joined Weight Watchers and just became a coach. And now I'm not doing Weight Watchers now. I simply just eat low carbs, watch what I eat, try to eat things that are fresh, that are green, that are close to the ground as possible, less processed, and foods that are pretty and colorful and not as heavy.
Yes, wow. Listen, I want to talk about that first smile. Because you said something there, right? Because even for me, I come from an athletic background, and when I take a break from working out, that first smile.
Oh,
right?
gosh. Yes.
It doesn't matter if we're in. It doesn't matter if we're in our top shape and we take time off from our routine. That first smile. So tell us about that. What is that first smile, and what are some tips that people can use for people that's in that stage, right, where they know they want to change, but that first smile, it attacks our mindset, right? How do you handle that?
It does. Well, that first smile, what made it so hard for me, just being on, I mean, I knew in the Word what the Word said, I can do all things, that I was, I was more than a conqueror. I knew all those things, but when, as people will say, when the rubber meets the road, when you finally there and you have to make a decision, I was terrified because I was like, I can't do this, but I knew that I did not want to be on medication. So, first of all, you have to have your mind made up. You have to fully convince yourself that I can do this. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care if I have to walk a couple of steps, a couple of feet, and stop, or run a little bit and stop. I mean, because all I did was walk, and I walked like a half a mile, and I was winded. It was hard. And I didn't even know any better. I was walking up hills and didn't realize I should have been walking flats and making it a lot easier for myself. I was walking in a hilly area, so I was doing extra harder. But in the end, pushing myself up those hills made it a lot easier on the back end. But that first mile, I did a little at a time. And I would cry, and I would be so sore, and I would just keep pushing because I knew that I could do this. And I would talk to myself. I would be out there talking to myself. I would have on headphones, listen to motivational speakers and just saying, I can do this. And I would just be huffing and a puffing. And I remember, talking to a friend, and she said, well, you got to get better shoes. You can't walk in those shoes. So I began to purchase good shoes. And she would say, well, cotton is rotten. You don't need to wear cotton. And I began to get things that would help make the journey a lot easier. So once I began to research, that 1 mile was a lot easier because, for one, my shoes are better now. I've got on better clothes. I don't have blisters on my feet because now I have on socks that are wicking socks and not cotton socks. So those little tidbits really helped me along the way. So that 1 mile was tough, but if you take that one step, it'll make the next mile a whole lot easier.
Yes. Wow. Listen, that's a mind changer right there, right? Because once we overcome that first mile, we took that first mile, and you mentioned Weight Watchers, and I was like, yeah, because they did change the name, right? So that goes to show how long you have been sticking with it, right? And you've been sticking with it for at least 10 years because you've been a coach for at least 10 years, right? And tell us about now you have a class that you teach. Do you work with people one-on-one as a fitness coach, a wellness coach?
I do. A lot of times I get a lot of, because people know that I've always been like a health coach, or they know that I teach cycling, they know I've always done those things. For some reason, I sometimes I get some of the same repeat, I shouldn't say the offenders, I get the same repeat people because they will say, well, I did good for a little while, but I fell off. And I always tell them, I said, well, the reason why you fell off is because you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired. You haven't convinced yourself that you are worth more than what you're looking at. You got to change your mindset. You can do this. And so I do talk to people one-on-one. I have helped people, and I have people in my corner because my best friend, she's really big into health and wellness as well. And she's also in the medical field. There are times when I want to quit and I want to give up. And she's like, girl, you get it together. Let's go. We got stuff to do. Having people in your circle really helps as well. But, yes, I do do the one-on-one. I do. And then when I teach my cycling class, I'm constantly telling them, trying to encourage them and push them and motivate them to dig deeper. And then when you finish this 45-minute workout, just don't kill it. Eat something healthy. Don't kill your workout. So I'm constantly feeding that into people and to motivate them to be a better person.
And you know what? And with a wellness coach, for the ones that's listening and you feel like, oh, well, I'll just sign up and then I'll do this, lose the weight, and I'll stop. Listen, you have to have accountability, right? And a lot of times we got into some of the situation that we're in because of that lack of accountability. We don't have that person that's making sure that we're watching what we eat, right? Or my favorite, oh, I need to reward myself, cake.
Right. Because
that was one of my offenders, right? Frappe and some cake. On my weekends, okay, all right, let me celebrate. This happened. This is this. And you always have something to celebrate, but there's a right way and a wrong way. Right. So I do believe with a wellness coach like you that it keeps us accountable. So even when we're celebrating, we have that voice saying, how are you celebrating?
Right. And I tell people, like I love cookies. Everybody that knows me know I love when I say I love, and I hate to say I love it like that, but I really do, and I love a good cookie. But now I don't want a cookie in the package. I want a freshly baked cookie. And I tell the people I love cookies, and I'm not going to stop eating cookies. The thing is, I don't eat them all the time. I don't eat as much as I used to eat. I whenever I want one, I just get one because I'm not going to deny myself something that I want. I mean, of course, I'm not doing it all the time. And it's okay to do that. I think a lot of people fail because they think, oh, I ate a cookie or I ate a piece of cake or I went by Starbucks or something and I got this. Oh, I'm back to square one. No, just brush it off. Show yourself some grace and keep moving.
Yes.
You got this. We're so hard on ourselves, and we really are stronger than we really are. We're really stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And we have, we get so used to, defeat. That we think that's a part of our life, and it's not. We're not a defeated person. We're winners. We're overcomers. We're strong. We got this, and that's what I try to tell people when they come to me. I'll ask them. I say, "Well, what is your why? Why do you want to get healthy?" I said, "Because you want to lose weight or you want to get healthy." There's a difference.
That's true.
If you're trying to get healthy, the weight loss will come. That's an added advantage. But getting healthy in your spirit, your soul, and your whole body, spirit, soul, and mind, all of that has to line up in order for you to see the results that you need.
Yes, I do believe that. And, it's funny because a lot of time we look at our journey versus our destination, right? Losing weight is a part of the journey. The destination is fitness. And I tell people oftentimes, I said, fitness go above and beyond just your physical appearance and what's going on physically.
Right.
Especially as believers, right? If our physical body is not fit, fasting is a problem.
That is so true.
Problem, a huge problem. So what are some tips as because you do have the medical and you do have the wellness, so I think that's just a perfect match. What are some tips that you'll give to someone that are believers, even if they're not believers, right? But they are trying intermittent fast because now everybody are fasting, right? Even people that's not believers.
Yes, I hear that all the time, yes. I hear that all the time. They're like, what do you think about intermediate fasting? I said, well, you do what works for you. I said, if you put in, you have to. It's intake and outtake. So you want to make sure that you're taking in less than what you're putting out. You don't want to eat 5,000 calories, but then you do a 5,000 workout and then you eat 10,000 calories. You're imbalanced. Yeah. So you want to make sure that what you're putting in and you're taking out, you have balance there. So I always tell people to whatever works for you. If intermediate fasting works for you, you do that. If you want to do low calorie, do that. If you want to do keto, whatever you want to do, but whatever you do first, consult your doctor to make sure that there's nothing underlining, nothing that's causing you to, if you do keto and you have you come to find out you have high cholesterol. Well, doing keto, you're going to eat lots of eggs and cheese and a lot of fat, which will drive that cholesterol through the roof. So you want to make sure that you are you have cleared it with your physician, your PCP, to make sure that you have that you're on the right track. Make sure that nothing is stopping you there. You want to make sure that your blood pressure is in a normal range. You don't want to be, out there doing something and your blood pressure skyrockets. Well, if you have been checking it or have had a regular workout, you would know. But I always say consult your doctor with anything that you do first. And then as believers, I think you should remember that your body does not belong to you. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that we forget. Our body does not belong to us. We represent Christ in the earth. And so how we're treating our body is a reflection on how we're treating him. And I know that sounds really deep. Sometimes some people say, oh, that's just so deep. I said, well, you represent him. They said, that's just so deep. I said, well, it's really not deep. But if you're a believer, you represent him. He lives on the inside of you. What are you doing to your body? What are you doing to his body? And to my unbelievers, I always tell them, remember, how you treat your body, what you do to your body is what you'll get. So if you're going to do it wrong, you treat it wrong, you're going to get there. Do you not think that you're worth more than that?
That's true.
I always tell them, you are so much worth, you're worth more than that. Your body is, it's beautiful. I mean, so what if you have rolls, if you have fat rolls, if your legs scrub when you walk? You have 2 legs, you have 2 feet. You look at those things that you have working for you. So I always tell them to consult your doctor. Start with your why. Why do you want to do this? Why is this important to you? Once you do that, make a plan. Talk with someone. Seek help. Get someone that is get a mentor, because you're going to need that, because there are going to be days when you're going to want to quit and it's going to seem impossible and hard. Yes. Because living a healthy lifestyle is not easy. It can be, it's challenging for me still. Sometimes I just like, okay, can I just drink a Coke and a bag of chips and just call it a day? But I know that's not benefiting my body. That's calories I don't need, and it's not helping me. So those are some things that I do, and sometimes I have to go back to the drawing board myself and say, okay, Katina, why are you doing this? And then I have to remember why I'm doing this, because I want to see other people live healthy. And if the last 2.5 years hasn't taught us anything during this pandemic, it has taught me that being healthy is very vital. Being healthy is really vital. It's very vital. It's vital.
Yes, because it's funny. I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of the things, what they said, underlying conditions. Yeah. And when you started, you told us that a lot of the underlying conditions, now we're not disputing things that's hereditary, things that we cannot control,
right.
Hormones and things like that, but the things that we can control, right? Like not getting up and walking. You said it. You said walk. Some people think they have to run a 5K and a 10K. We don't. We just have to walk.
Right. Yeah, just move. Just move your body. Some people hate to walk. I have a friend that teaches Zumba. I am one black lady that does not have moves. I am not a dancer. I cannot dance. But for my other sisters and my brothers, my other nationality sisters, if you can dance, hey, get out there and dance. If you can run, if you can cycle, playing with your kids, going outside playing with your children. You don't have to be doing a structured exercise. Just moving your body, getting up and moving, going up and down the stairs, parking far. Just doing those things to stay active. You got to make a move. And you can do it. You can do it.
Yes. I think that's so important, that bite size, right? They said eat an elephant one bite at a time, and wellness in itself, I love it because it's necessary, it's vital, it's important, right? More than important, but at the same time, it's one of the most challenging things for us. And I remember telling people, I said, wow, they always talk about the obesity rate in America, and I said, the difference between America and most of the Caribbean and other parts of the world is the accessibility, right?
Yeah.
We don't have McDonald's on every corner. We don't have Burger King. It's only in the city, and it's only a few of them, right? So,
right.
And if you're in the city, you're going to eat this home-cooked meal, right? So it's just accessibility. So even with that, we have the same accessibility for parks and gyms and beaches based on where we live, and just so much different things, equipments we can even put at home now.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing the home workouts. A lot of people are not. I mean, if you have any kind of internet, there's no reason why you can't do a home workout. There are home workouts. I mean, you can just use your body weight. You can do squash. You can do dips. You can take 5-pound bags of things and do curls with them. You know, you can do high knees. You can do jumping jacks. You can do sit-ups. So there's so much you can do, lunges at home, so much you can do at home that you don't even have to leave the comfort of your home if you're still not comfortable going into a gym.
Right. Wow, and that's awesome. And you know what? I do believe that those home things works a lot, personally for me, works a lot better because I had a sports injury that put me to PT, and everything that we did, I was like, wow. And, man, that workout put a beating on me, right? And I was like, wow, I feel like I haven't worked these muscles in years, but yet I was going to the gym and I was using the equipment, so I was doing all of that, but your natural body weight just works differently for us, so I'm glad you brought that up.
It's the best. Yes, it is so good for you. And I like to lift weights. I actually love lifting weights, but there's sometimes when I don't go to the gym, I will work out in my living room I will do push-ups. I will do sit-ups. I will just work my body, and one thing I don't do a lot of, and it's something that I should do, and it's stretch. I don't do a lot of stretching, and the older I've gotten, the more I realize I really need to elongate my body. I really need to stretch and take the time out to really stretch and relax and just stretch those muscles, and that's something that, you listeners, you guys should do. Just stretch. Make sure you're stretching before you work out. But after you work out, that is the most important part of your workout, is the stretching.
Yes, wow. Listen, and not just are you a wellness coach, you are also a John Maxwell coach. Tell us about that, because you just have this passion for people that is rare, right? Because a lot of people, they do things, but the passion is not there. So tell us about that piece of what you do.
Well, actually, I'm not officially a John Maxwell coach yet. We're still in the process. We're still working towards it. But I am part of a team in my city that's called, I'm part of the John Maxwell team that's called Transformation. And in my city that I live in, we are transforming we're doing a transforming team to bring the city closer to just find out what some things that our city can work on. I was chosen by an actual John Maxwell leader, and he knows that I'm passionate about people. He's listened to my podcast, and he knows that I have such a passion for people and to see people healthy. And to bring people together. And so that's one thing. I love people. I love to encourage people. I love to motivate people, and I love to inspire people. And so, and I love people, so as you can tell. And so that's kind of how I got on that team. Once I got on that team, God just opened up doors for me to join the John Maxwell team. So that process is not complete yet, but we're claiming it and we're working through it. So hopefully within the next 3 months, that process will be complete, and I will actually be on the John Maxwell leadership team. So I'm super excited about that. Super, super excited about it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm going to say my congratulations now. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We are claiming it now. So I'm saying my
Yes, we are, because I never thought I could do it, because I was like, well, who wants to listen to me? Because sometimes as motivators and people that try to encourage other people, sometimes we're kind of harder on ourselves.
Yes.
And people don't believe that. People don't believe, well, how you get down? Well, I do, because I'm always giving out. Sometimes it does get hard, and so I'm excited about it. I know that God is going to do some awesome things there. I just want to see people live their best. I want to, if they've got some kind of passion or something on the inside, I want to help pull it out. And I want to see them just win. I want to see people win, whether it be winning a business, on a healthy journey, or whatever it is. I just want to see us win, and then in turn help somebody else get there.
Wow, that's awesome. And you mentioned your podcast, so you have got to tell us about your podcast.
Well, my podcast, we're getting ready to start season 2. Last year we did season 1, and it blew up, and it blew my mind. God he's just all that. I love my podcast. It blew up last year. God opened up doors for me to do a podcast. I never even wanted to be in broadcast or radio. I mean, it was not a thing of mine, but I was on a show, and this lady, she said the reviews from that show were awesome, and she said, you should do your own. And I was like, no, I'm good. I don't, I'm not a proper talker. That's what I told her. I said, I'm not a proper talker, And she said, what do you mean a proper talker? She said, just be yourself. I said, I'm a Southern girl. I talk slang. I may break a couple of verbs here and there, and I laugh. And she said, that's what people need to hear, That's real. And so it just I started it, and it's Motivate with KO. It's on all your digital platforms. And we talk about health and wellness, but we have several other issues that we deal with. But underlining, we definitely deal with health and wellness. I'm getting ready to start season 2, like I said, the 1st of March. And so one thing we're going to talk a lot about going into this season is mental health. That has been heavy on my heart lately. And so I really want to deal with mental health in the Christian community. And just period, so many people are dealing with mental health issues, and it's kind of like we wear a mask because we don't want to get the SARS-2 coronavirus. That's why we wear a mask. But that mask is also hiding something else. And so it's something that's really been on my heart. And people have been home, they've been in isolation, so they're not healthy. They're just, and so that's just something, that I'm going to dive into in this season. So, if you guys are listening, I would love for you to check us out in March, beginning March, the first Monday at 7 Central Standard Time, and I'm also on Envision Radio, so you can catch me on there as well. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what God is doing. I never thought I would have my own podcast, but it blew up, and God just blew my mind, because when I ended my season 1, everybody's like, I was getting emails and text messages and inboxes. When you coming back? I'm like, whoa, okay, God. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Sometimes the gift that we overlook, right, is the gift that the Lord will use to bring us to the level where he needs us to be. So that's awesome. Listen, you're listening. You've heard about her podcast. Visit her podcast, listening. I know you absolutely love her because you've been on here this long. So go and subscribe to her podcast so you can be a part of all that she has going on. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we get ready to go?
I just want to encourage people to just, find your why, find out whether it's living a healthier life, wanting to get healthier. Find out what's best for you. Ask yourself, why is this so important? Why do I need to make a change? And once you decide why you need to do this, and I also want you to know when you write that why, write it on a piece of paper, write it on something that you can see, put it on your phone. That why should almost bring tears to your eyes. Why do you want to read your Bible more? Why do you want to get healthier? Why do you want to save more? Why? Find out what that why is and let that drive you. Even the Bible says in Jeremiah 29, write the vision, make it plain. Your why is your vision. That is your roadmap. And just go at it. Just go after it. Take one step at a time. And I promise you, if you take one step, God will take two. That first mile, you start that first mile before it's over, you'll be running marathons.
Wow, that is awesome. And how can we get a hold of you? How can our listeners find you?
You can follow me on social media. I have an Instagram, Motivate with KO, or you can follow me on, you can email me at wemotivate@gmail.com. Also, like I said, I'm on Envision Radio. You can catch me there, Motivate with KO. And then, of course, you can catch me on all digital platforms for my podcast, Season 2. So if you haven't listened, you can go back, put a little plug in. You can go back and listen to all 12 episodes in Season 1 and catch up, and then you'll be ready to rock with me in March.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Listen, y'all,
Thank you for having me.
So much fun. Listen, it's an honor. I had so much fun being on with you. And thank you for the valuable information that you have given us. Listen, diamonds from all over the world, wherever you are. Remember, when life applies pressure, we shine. There is a diamond in you if you just keep pushing. Until we meet again, Shine on, diamonds. Shine on.